All right.
Alright, recording has begun. So, all of you have now gone back to the sticking lizard. You awaken as the sun comes up and you hear a sort of curse from downstairs.
I'm
And
sorry. So is this after the commotion in the marketplace?
yes,
Hap-
because none of you showed for the last session, I made an executive decision that you all went your separate ways and then went to bed.
Okay.
Because
Gotcha.
Val did enough stuff to where it gets iffy with continuity
Okay.
if for some reason something happens today and like you can't get unstuck and then by the so
Sure.
you've
We'll come
gone
back to it.
home,
We'll speak to Val about it.
gone to bed. Oh, at the end I'll have to ask you guys what will make you write write-ups, um or if anything will. That might be a better question, because I have so many cool like surprise gifts for people who do that. And anyway,
I mean, it's sort of mostly finals that
Yeah,
that's
that's
totally
true.
fair. Okay, so maybe hopefully next week we can get some write-ups out for
yeah.
the past two
I can
sessions.
I can knock out the last one and then this one tonight.
Okay. I just don't want you being the only person doing it, Jack. Like
I'm okay with
I
me
mean,
having the most
if
XP.
you that's fair. No, like
I'm okay
I'm
with
very
gaining all the different benefits that you can provide. Also, I did this. Okay, we'll talk about this later. Um,
no.
let's
Now
just
I'm
start.
curious. Jeez, what if it has? What if it's important?
It's not important.
Okay,
It is
great.
so
So,
not important.
all right. So you have all woken up. Let's move you back to the nipple. Um,
If you keep saying it, we'll keep seeing it.
Now it's stuck. It's forever.
It's too late.
It's
I
it's
had
for.
completely forgotten that this was a thing. So you mentioned it now.
Okay. Well,
Now it's stuck.
now it's forever. Ah. Yes, you all wake up back at the stinking lizard, uh, noting that both the druid and the monk have. No, druid? Yes. Have disappeared yet again. In fact, some of you are not even sure that Zalaris was here last night. And Orentha, well, who knows about Orentha? But
Been gone since the day before yesterday.
pretty much. She's dead for all you know. I really hope. Um,
Hmm.
and you awaken to curses from downstairs, which you're not sure if it's normal, but you wouldn't be surprised if it was. And some of you realize now that tonight is your last night in the sticking lizard, unless you want to pay to live here.
Yes. So we're gonna have to
It's your
deal with
last
that.
free night.
We want to
Did
pay
we
to
get
stay here?
I must be honest with the rest of you. I was considering more suitable accommodations.
I
I
think this is pretty nice, but I'm good going somewhere else.
some better food would certainly be reasonable, but we have the financial resources to stay anywhere much more expensive. I don't know.
Well,
We should
we have been earning a decent amount.
we get any what coin did we get from yesterday?
We divide that up.
What?
Yeah, did we divide that up?
We did. Yes.
We did. I remember doing it. It was just
Um, it,
not very much.
it was not. It was a couple gold
Oh
pieces.
yeah.
And now I have lots of silver and copper.
It was 1 gold for each troglodyte, each
And
pair
then
of troglodyte hands, and then I guess it
and
was
then I think
1 gold per corpse, I think.
We divided it up. I remember that.
we got like 2 gold,
Yeah.
which is not that's not standard adventurer fare. We need to unionize.
This is what happens when I don't plan. I'm
Well,
cheap.
I appreciate. I for such things. I do believe that it should be to serve and these people well.
But there's service and then there's service. You understand? You could serve them by going out into the street and distributing food, but you do not do this. You find that there's a higher call, and you pursue that. What I am saying is that a higher labor deserves a higher compensation, and that an investment in us, in our future, will produce rewards commensurate with its value.
What are you proposing? Where should we go for work that we're going to get more money?
The problem, I think, that we do not know enough. We are newcomers to this city, and we have been working jobs beneath the table. So maybe we learn a little about the city. We learn how it moves, how it breathes. We go to the markets and we see how people buy and sell here. It would provide...
Sounds complicated.
Yes.
Simpler just to keep hunting these, doing other services until they recognize our value, would it not?
Simple is not always effective. But you're welcome to do so. I will not stand in your way.
I like people watching.
All right.
It would be foolish for me to go off on my own in this state.
Consider this at the very least, Alexia. You can at least get a good breakfast.
That would be a pleasant change of pace.
I'm sure. Are we ready to head out then?
Oh, do we want to check how much it would be to stay here, or do we want to take all of our stuff and go somewhere else?
Do we have one more night after this, or was this our last night?
The night of May 25th to May 26th will be your last night.
Doesn't help.
That does not help.
You're expecting us to have any idea how the calendar of this world works, and that we've been keeping track of that.
It's May 25th.
So tonight is our last night.
We have one more free night.
Yes.
Okay.
That was,
I mean, I take my stuff with me anyway, because I don't have much stuff.
yeah, I don't have stuff, but I was just... So I guess we're going to go find some place to eat a decent breakfast.
All right, so do you want to ask for directions or anything like that, or just wandering around?
We wandered around a bit through the market
Yeah.
and stuff yesterday. I imagine we got some sort of
Okay.
route where things might be.
At least for me, so my goal is to familiarize myself with the area a bit more, and get a. I'm trying. You know, oh, sorry. That was a mistake. I'm not trying to open a medicine practice. I recognize that I am not local to the area, so I have these maps I've used, and I'm trying to fill in details as I go. And I just want to get a better sense for the region, so I can start making decisions in an informed manner.
Sure.
All right, does anyone else have a goal? Sarah wins.
I do, just in case you were wondering.
He's the best doctor.
I think today, to do a bit of shopping, but I'm not with you guys. But I can discuss that with the DM.
Okay, do you know about whispers?
No.
Okay, so what is it?
You can.
Is it /GM?
/W, and then you hit space, and then you can type the name of whoever you want to talk to. If you want to talk to the GM, you hit GM, and then you can type something. If you want to talk to somebody else, you can type like agate, and then
You need to
say
put the person. So
hello.
if you do /W, GM lowercase,
So nobody else but you saw that, Sarah.
and then
The Derek. Oh.
Yeah. And
Backslash?
if people, it's forward
whatever's
slash.
on.
It's forward
One
slash.
that you didn't use.
It's whatever is on the W, or on the question mark.
Oh.
Yes. So you can use /WGM to tell me things.
Or?
Yes. All right.
I still need to do that as well.
What?
With Agate about her stealing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Jamra goes downstairs. Confront her. Or you can do it later.
Agate,
Yes.
I noticed yesterday as we were dealing with those troglodytes, you were some pockets and some things, and I noticed you seemed to hide something from the rest of us.
Yeah.
Generally not what people who are working with each other try to do. Trust and honesty are important, and are the foundation of a strong person.
Well, yeah, and that's important, but the only person I know who's not going to kill me at this point is you. I mean, before. I don't know about everyone else. We've known these people for a day. That's not very long.
It is true, and I think it is wise to be cautious. But one can be cautious without being dishonest.
It's okay. See, but I'm also really sneaky. And I pull out the healing potion and show Cyrenixia.
Oh.
I think it would be best if you would share that. Inform the rest of us. Inform of this. We cannot have if we do not. Only way that we will form these bonds and create a cohesive and powerful unit. If you are hiding things, that will not be able to occur.
I mean, look, for now, all I know is that when genre were to go down, I would use this potion on you, but someone I would use it on anyone. I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping it a little safe so I can protect the people that I care about first.
You can keep it safe, and you can keep it on you. A resource as important to our well-being as that. What if the two of us were to be fallen unconscious? Jama would have no idea of the healing potential that you had sitting in your pocket, and we could both lie there dying, unawares that there was a cure sitting in your pocket. Would you like that to happen?
How about this? Like, next time, he asked if I found anything, and I said I found some gold. So how about next time there's a fight, I'll show him that I found something, and I'll show him this. But Jack,
I'm not saying anything.
is not honest, Agate. Or to tell him that you found it in the next fight, that would be lying to him. Wrong.
I wouldn't say I found it in the next fight. I would just say that I found it.
See, she's
Derek,
Cyrenixia
you're
becoming
blocking
somewhat
out.
frustrated. I'm,
Say what you said the last sentence again, because it blocked out.
you
Okay.
see Cyrenixia becoming somewhat frustrated because she's very set and knows that telling the truth is the right thing to do, but this small child, than she is, is not listening properly.
Jambra, what were
Didn't-
you? Oh, sorry.
Hmm?
So, if Derek was
I'm
saying
down. I'm
something,
downstairs.
okay.
Philip, what do you gain? What is the benefit of lying, of continuing this lie to Jamra? Or knowing the truth now, the falsehood that he would believe later.
Knowledge is a very important thing, and I don't know what happened, but I found this, and I'll use it on him. But for now, I don't trust him. I respect that you really like and trust people, but
It's not that I like and that I trust people. It is that there is no that is the way to deal with people. I will act as though I trust them until they have shown otherwise. Be dishonest is to break the code of Argentax. Life. It brings me my power. Good life. I'm sorry, Agate, but if you will not tell Jamra, then I must.
Oh shit.
okay, I'll tell John.
Thank you. You are doing the right thing.
I'm gonna go run upstairs and tell Jamra.
I think he's downstairs and we're still upstairs.
I am downstairs. Yeah.
But
Okay, I'm gonna go run downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I will follow.
I am likely. I guess so. It's like a bar sort of situation downstairs, like a tavern.
Yeah.
Okay. I have sort of fended off any offers of breakfast this morning, and I'm just sort of like sitting at a table and just sort of waiting for everyone to be ready. I have my little pack all together.
Okay. You're just sort of twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting ready, thinking about what I need, what is my best option.
Okay. Alright, so the two of you upstairs are done, and you come downstairs and you see Shamra, and Benyam sort of pokes his head out, and he's like, "Oh, how'd you sleep?"
Well, thank you.
Quite well, yes.
Breakfast?
Not this morning, I think. We have an early trip.
Where you
Must
going?
get out to the market. Must get out to the market.
Buying anything?
I don't know. Do you have any recommendations of interesting stops, interesting people?
Well, the fish aren't good by now. Don't get the
I'd
fish.
imagine.
Sun's already up. Well, you could look around. There's a couple of curiosity shops. There might be a magic shop. There might be a parchment shop.
Oh, curiosities. What sort of curiosities?
It's called the Bushy Tail.
The-
You'll see what I mean.
Oh my.
Sounds
It's a furry shop. It's just all like catfolk outfits and.
Oh man, that
Sexy.
sounds great. Let's go there.
All right, okay, bushy tail, and then there's a
There you
medpick shop.
And for lunch, if you care to venture back into the hearth fire, well, there's a woman there that makes delicious fish stew. And he sort of stares off into the distance and is just momentarily speechless. And he goes, that's about it, unless you want to venture into the center, but then you have to deal with tranquil guards everywhere, and they check on you, and they do their job. And
Oh,
he
they
sort
don't
of,
do their job?
Cyrenexia's eyes light up at the thought of guards actually doing their job.
My eyes light up for an entirely different reason. Sorry, can you show us on the map where we are roughly right now?
you're in Gullsfoot. Oh, me? This is not the right map.
Yes, I'm asking.
This is absolutely not the right map. Let me get
okay.
you a proper map. No, the proper map is in the works, and then my tablet stopped working. But basically, here, I'll
Okay.
put it on GroupMe really quick.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so remember the... Hold on.
Is Hearthfire's the...
Hearthfire
So
is just outside the gate.
It just sounded like he was talking about like Hearthfire as like a more specific location than just in a district. But okay.
Perhaps if it will save you clicks, perhaps
So
I
it's
can
just,
phrase my question.
yeah.
What is how small an area does the quote unquote center refer to? Like, is that just the area surrounding like the main district? Like, I'm trying to figure out. He seems to have implied that the guards that the apathy that we have observed so far amongst the city employees extends in an area, and I'm trying to figure out how big that area is, because that's where we want to be.
It's sort of... Okay. So...
They are apathetic.
Yes. Oh
Gullsfoot-
yeah.
Gullsfoot is rather known for having apathetic... Alright, sorry, I'll say this in his voice. Well, Gullsfoot doesn't have... I guess in Gullsfoot they sort of send all the guards that don't really want to be doing anything.
I see. And
There's...
the
Hearthfire
center you're
has-
referring to.
There's Castle Moat and there's the Queen's Ear.
Oh, I see.
Censer
So
Hill,
that's
they
a
sort
that's
of
a
do-
region of districts.
Yeah, like the center's is, he sort of scratches his head. The center's the center. I mean, like there's the castle, and then there's the like seven. He starts counting on his fingers. Yeah, like the 6 districts around Castle Moat, and that's kind of the center, and that's kind of like really close, and like Pemulp's there, and yeah, it's just, I mean, people do their job more there.
Okay.
Roughly.
And I'll continue to just sort of talk to him and try to tease out any details I can about the area. And could I make some sort of check to see if I can add to some of my local knowledge? What I'm trying to build up is to the point of being able to make knowledge checks and investigation checks as like a local would be eventually.
Okay. So right now, so that's your goal, and then right now you're trying to...
I'm just trying to basically
more
talk to him
info?
and get background information and sort of genially chat about that stuff and build up my knowledge that way.
Sounds good. All right. So, guess what would that be? That would be like sort of like a persuasion check, I guess,
All right, there you go.
or just a general charisma check. Charisma check. General charisma check.
General charisma.
That's
okay.
a 2, wouldn't it be? If you're adding 5. Wait,
Wait,
aren't you a sorcerer? Aren't you supposed to have...
Yeah, no, he's just rolling terribly.
I'm just rolling really, really badly. I rolled a 2 both times.
Okay.
So that's a total of a 5. It's okay. Got to get that out of the way now. All right. So I just he gets bored with me.
He's kind of he like starts sort of telling you about like general stuff, but he kind of just looks at you and he's like, "Why do you care?"
The customer comes in and needs something.
Yeah, he gets distracted. I can't keep his attention. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
There will be other people to talk to. All right.
Shall we go get breakfast?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, why not?
And we will head out.
All right. So as you head out, nothing really special is going on. You sort of, I mean, it seems like a regularly quiet day, or as quiet as quiet can be.
Does Agate say anything about the
Yeah,
potion? Or
Not yet.
okay.
As we're getting ready to leave, and I notice you haven't said anything, I will hold you back as Jamra goes out. Like, Agate. Weren't you?
No, we've only been down here for like 5 minutes. I was gonna wait till we're outside of the sketchy ass inn.
I love her.
It is a sketchy ass end.
It's not that bad. The
It's
first place we
pretty
were at was a
bad.
sketchy ass
It-
inn.
They poisoned you. Oh, that was the first place.
That was this place. This is the place that poisoned me.
This is
You
the place
didn't.
that poisoned.
You didn't eat there. At the
Gotcha.
first place. If you had eaten there, you would have
Until the end
had a
of
much.
breakfast. If you haven't told him by then, I will tell him myself.
I'm gonna go up to Jamra and like poke him on the shoulder.
Can you reach?
Or-
I'm not that tall.
Poke you somewhere appropriate.
I'm. Oh, boy.
Now you have inspired others.
Oh my.
um,
This is going very differently than I thought this group would be.
Um,
You know, it's
underestimate-
kids. It'll be sunshine
Yes.
and rainbows. No.
Okay, so I'm
yes,
gonna
yes, Agate?
Jamra, I found something yesterday that I didn't show you. I didn't know it was special, but then I talked to Cyrenixia and she said I should probably show you. Little bottle. Do you know what it is?
Oh. Do you actually? Here's a question. In character, does Agate know what it is?
No.
Or no, Agate doesn't actually know what it is.
I have no idea what it is.
Okay. What
Okay.
check would it be to determine
Maybe
that
that's
is a
fair,
potion?
I
I
was
thought
saying
we'd
that
figured that out.
I think Cyrenixia knew what it does. I mean, you can cast that spell, so it makes sense that you would know what it is. It's on your spell list. But
I have no healing spells.
not yet, but they're
Some
on
point
your
I
spell
will.
list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Station with Cyrenixia, I like
Okay.
was saying that I knew what it
Yeah, yeah. Okay, whatever.
Okay, so that wasn't. So you
so-
weren't
so-
actually lying to him at that point. It was. Okay, never mind then. I didn't interrupt you.
What Maria, what check would it be to
To determine that is a.
to know what it is? If it is a check. Maybe there's a label.
Since I don't watch Keyleth doing stuff anymore. I guess
It
do
could
you?
be Arcana, it could be Investigation.
Yeah, let's try
You-
Arcana.
Medicine, I guess.
Because you haven't been around. Like if you were a higher level, you'd probably know what a healing potion is. But right now, like you just got out of the depths of hell.
Sure.
In hell, he was in the plane of fire, and in the astral sea.
That's funny.
It
That's
would be
really
very
funny.
different.
So, yeah, okay, I'll make the Arcana check. One of the things I just looked it up. So, you can always. I got a 14.
Okay.
Figured out by tasting it.
Yeah, but that has. It doesn't expend it, but if it's poisonous, you have to make a save against the poison. So it's probably good to use other methods. So it's like, so the line is, you can always recognize a little taste enough to tell the taster what the potion does. But, oh boy, I'm gonna avoid doing that if at all possible.
Why did you did you look this up after you said it?
I asked you, and then you said you didn't know, and while you were thinking about it, I looked it up to see if there was an answer.
Ah, okay, cool.
And then I discovered that answer would put me in peril.
Great. There's a pleasant zing on your tongue.
I don't.
And
Oh no, I didn't taste it. This was just the Arcana check.
oh,
Yeah, he did.
wait. What did you? Oh, so you're just looking at it?
I'm just examining it.
How
I'm
are you
reaching out.
examining it?
I hold it in my hand
Mhm.
and I reach out with my senses to the innate well of magical energy that wells up within me, and I call out with them to the
Some
tiny
wafting.
proportion of the magical energy that still lingers in this glass, and I try to feel the resonance between them and identify first the school of magic it's associated with, and then once I understand that, I can move from there to the specific region within the school, and finally to the identification of what it is. That is what I attempt to do.
So I have no idea what the mumbo jumbo before healing potion is, but it's a healing potion.
There you go.
I'm not gonna look up what all the mumbo
I mean,
jumbo
all that was
before
mumbo jumbo.
I
Role
think
playing is just mumbo jumbo.
that I give
That's
up.
it.
Yes, it is.
All of that was mumbo jumbo.
It is a healing potion, specifically a regular potion of healing.
Okay.
Does nothing
Ah.
special beyond the basic healing potion awesomeness.
Ah. Well, this is an excellent find, Agate. This is a potion of healing. It will provide some measure of restorative potential, enough to call a person back from quite near to death's door.
Oh,
That was a very good that you found it, and they are quite valuable as well.
wow. That's
Hold on to that.
Yeah, I'll keep it safe.
And yes, we may certainly have need of it in the days ahead, but if not, then it is a valuable prize for 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 trade or many things. It shall depend what our needs are, I suppose.
Yeah,
I hand it back to her.
thank you. I'm glad I know what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to know all of Agate's thoughts.
What was that?
I really want to know all of Agate's thoughts, because I feel like they're very twisted.
I mean, I really, yeah, I look forward to seeing her entries in the.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yes, that would be fun.
would be fun.
All right.
Are we gonna go find breakfast now?
Yes, we shall. We sort of look around and see if there's any food stands or things.
As you look around, you see a man selling bread. Sort of just hawking it.
Oh, hot loaves.
Yes, hot loaves. It's not really loaves, actually. It's
Okay.
more like, what's the word?
Pastries.
No. Flat pita breads.
Slices?
Flat pita
Oh.
breads.
Okay.
They're not
nice.
loaves.
I will head over to him.
He's selling that. All right. He sort of looks you up and down. Bread?
Of course. Do you have any spiced bread?
Well, I mean, I have bread that heals plague. I have bread that makes you sleep better at night. I have regular old bread. I have,
Do I believe him?
Roll an insight check.
Good.
Like,
He
well, really
certainly
the question
believes
is,
it.
16.
yeah, if he believes it,
Do I believe it? Yeah, 16.
Hang on, do I believe it? Let me
believe
see.
that he believes it. Is really.
Yeah, but I also know merchants.
Hang on, do I believe it? So that would be what, perception?
Insight.
Inside.
Uh, Agate, you're not entirely certain. The merchant certainly seems convinced. Jamra, and Cyrenixia. This baker seems absolutely convinced that what he's selling is 100% the genuine article.
Guys, we should definitely buy some anti-plague bread. I don't know what kind of sicknesses we can get over here, but I've heard not good things.
How long does your bread maintain its effects?
Do you
I
mean
say-
before or after you eat it?
Before.
Well, I mean, fresh bread is always better than stale bread, in my opinion.
Oh,
but
of
that's
course,
just
of
because I
course,
make
of
it.
course. Oh, yes.
Though toast is also very good. I mean, people here don't really buy more bread than they're going to eat in a day, so they get it fresh anyway, so I don't really have...
That's fair. Well, we
You
will
know.
come to you if we catch the plague, then.
I also have bread that helps you sleep better. I have bread that helps protect you from harm. Like, some people don't like getting scratched up by stuff, and then they get scratched up by stuff, and this helps
How much
you.
for that? How much for a piece of that bread?
So, which one? The
The one that
scratching
protects
one?
you from harm. Yes, yes.
The regular bread is 1 copper, and then the plague bread is 2 coppers, and the one that protects you from harm is also 2 coppers.
I will. Would you both like some?
Yeah, I would like the sleep better bread, please.
We'll take the regular bread.
Alright, so Cyrenixia,
I'll
that's
hand
1
him the
copper.
5 coppers then. I'll
Alright.
hand him 5 coppers.
You're paying for all of us.
Yeah.
Some coppers.
Give Jabra.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you. Do I like just take a bite of the bread and I knock out?
Oh no! It's a bread-based roofie.
Well, along with, so I'm gonna
Are you actually
Use-
taking a bite of the bread?
use 2 of my coppers to get a piece of normal bread too.
That's just 1 copper.
Bread too, and I'm gonna save the sleeping better bread for later.
Sorry. One more time, because you cut out.
I'm gonna eat the normal bread and then save the sleeping better bread for later.
Okay, so the normal bread is 1 copper. The sleeping better bread is 2.
Okay, so he bought me the sleeping bread, so I'm just gonna put sleeping bread in my inventory and then just
Great.
the normal bread.
Um,
Don't worry,
I-
guys, I got this.
I'm gonna bite into the protection bread.
I'll just have my regular bread.
I chow down
The
on it.
baker sort of looks at you. It's delicious bread. It's freshly made. It tastes not doughy necessarily, but like that sort of very light taste of yeast where like you know this has been like lovingly crafted, not store-bought
Oh,
crap.
it's
Wow.
very good.
Um,
It's good bread, sir.
Do I
Thank
notice
you.
any effect?
thus far, no.
Okay. All right. Well, I eat it.
But you're also not like in harm's way
That's
right
true.
now.
That is true. That is
You
true.
wouldn't be able to know if the bread was working. Guys, I'm so excited to use the sleeping bread.
That's true. Who knows what'll happen? If this does work, I'm showing up at this guy every day. I am going to buy all of his best bread. He's literally a magic baker.
I'm so excited, guys.
The most inexpensive magic.
I mean, you never know. Like, it might just be everyone thinks he's crazy.
I know.
Maybe-
I'm
Maybe he's crazy.
I certainly think that he's down.
I don't know. We're gonna see. And then after that, I guess we wander off to our next destination.
Well, he kind of looks at you. He's like, if you want to go across the wood, do you want anything to put on it? It sort of seems like
Do
he's
you-
never
you-
seen...
I wasn't aware there was like a garnish system.
No,
I don't know, people like, when I eat plain bread, people look at me like I'm crazy.
But this is medieval
This
times.
guy sells bread.
That's fair. All right.
They're infused in the bread. That's the magic part. You don't need to put anything on it. It would just.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Unless like the cheese is also magic.
Excuse me, what kinds of. Do you have any cheese to go on this?
No, but if you head down right the way, there's a person that sells delicious goat cheese. Brings it in from her goats. Makes it by hand. It's a family operation. Everything's a family
Brings it in
operation.
from the goats. Yeah.
I'm tired.
No, I love this. This is good.
All right.
We're gonna continue on our way.
All right, where did they go?
So we had talked about the curiosity shop.
Mm-hmm.
There.
I know there was some interest from that for Sarah. So why don't we go there first? Because Sarah probably has to leave soon.
All right.
So basically, update on what's going on with me. My friends who I'm watching Game of Thrones with are still doing homework up to this point. Game of Thrones starts in 9 minutes, so if we're not all going to the Game of Thrones watch party, we'll have our own one later once they're done with their homework. So like, I'm good to stick around till my friends get their shit together.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds good.
So still, why don't we do
I'm
yours?
gonna have homework again soon.
Don't
Yeah.
say horrible things. I'm
Well,
editing a probability textbook this summer and studying for quals, so I'm going to get used to it quickly. But
fun.
yes.
Right. Okay,
So,
so let's go to the curiosity shop.
Yeah, let's do that.
all right. So as you wander around and ask around after the bushy tail, people sort of their eyebrows sort of shoot up when you ask, depending on whom you ask. And then they will point you down, and you manage to get there relatively quickly. And you see, okay, so it's a shop that's sort of tiny. It's about the size of the storefront itself. Oh God, Matt Mercer.
Being infected. There was a great moment that I noticed recently where he was like, there's a circular sphere hanging from the ceiling.
Oh my.
It made me cry.
Okay. So
Sorry. So it's
there's a
about
small shop.
It's about 8 feet wide, this storefront, and there's no windows, really. It seems like there were windows and they've been papered over, and the front, the sign says the bushy tail in sort of painted slapdash letters, and then there's a squirrel, sorry, with a nut in its
Okay.
paws. The whole thing looks dilapidated.
I don't know if this place is appropriate for Agate.
Walk right in.
All right.
I will follow and keep an eye on her.
I follow. I'm not a good role model.
No, you're not. All right, let me find my notes for this because I was doing other things. All right, the first thing you see as soon as you walk in is tiny little furry animals. And they cover...
Taxidermy?
Yes.
Oh!
And they
Okay.
cover basically every available surface.
This is terrifying.
They
They're gonna kill
have
us.
eyes. They have tiny little feet. And I still can't find my freaking notes, and this was so well written.
pause for like a second if you want to find your notes.
I'm pausing for a second so I can find my notes.
Bushy tail. Tiny curiosity shop. 8 feet wide. No windows. Papered open. Tiny furry taxidermy animal shop. Animals cover everything.
Yes. Are you telling me I only described this beautifully in my head?
Animals. No, they're all dead.
I only described this in my head. Most of them are of the squirrel or chipmunk variety. There is something that none of you recognize that has a wider and flatter tail that's almost scaled. Giant teeth. It's sort of sitting up on its hind legs. The whole thing is maybe like 10 feet deep going in, and there's a desk. It looks similar in setup to the Office 154. There's 2 tables in the center that are just covered with stuff. More stuff. And behind the desk pops up this woman with giant glasses that make her eyes look much bigger than they actually are. They're sort of horn-rimmed glasses. And she says, "Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?"
I go up to.
Good morning.
What happened to all your animals? Why aren't any of them moving?
Oh no.
"They're dead, dear."
Oh, well, they looked really alive.
"Thank you. I try really hard. That
They're
one's my
very-
particular favorite." And she sort of points to a raccoon that's hanging from the ceiling, and it's just like,
These are very nice. Smallest one you have.
"What's the what?"
Have like a really small animal?
"There's a chipmunk over there." And she sort of
no.
points behind you, and there's actually 3 chipmunks that seem to be frolicking, or as if they have been at one point frolicking.
Get ready for Agate to have the creepiest stuffed animal ever.
Yes. I'm gonna look at all the chipmunks and be like, I like go up to them really close and poke at them a little bit, and I just like,
One of them just falls over. "Careful of the merchandise, dear."
hey, I'm gonna carefully pick that one up and be like, how much is this one?
"Well, what do you want to do with it?"
I want to buy it,
"And then what?"
and then keep it with me. Selling these?
"You don't want it as a good luck charm, or any? You want to just keep it?"
Is it a good luck charm?
I mean, it could be.
Oh, people buy all sorts of bullshit.
She's just sort of
I don't know.
with the glasses.
A good luck charm?
Yes, or it could deflect arrows, or I could
What?
take the blood out of it and make
With his
something.
blood in these
There's
still.
no blood in it?
Well, there's not. She sort of looks over at you, and her eyes squint. She's like, "Come closer. I can't see you. It's dark over there."
Which one?
Whoever spoke first. Okay.
I mean, it's not actual fire. It's just light that is fire looking. But
Her eyes get really big. I have one that does that too.
Oh. Could we see it?
Fire taxidermy!
magic taxidermy.
I am excited.
What is this insanity?
I've been waiting for you guys to get here for a month.
So, we'll be,
Oh, I'm sorry, you were too busy showing us the wonders of paperwork.
One of you wanted to be a merchant and wanted to get paperwork.
I'm gonna go up to. Does this one do anything? You said.
But that's just the question, dear. That's the vessel. What do you want me to put into it?
Oh.
Well, what can you put into it?
I
She
see.
pulls a ledger off behind her, and it's thick.
shit,
It's like
that's
3
really
inches, and brings it down. Goes. And with her hand sort of slapped down on top of the ledger, she looks at you and goes, "Papers."
I have papers at this point. Question to everyone.
You have the Squad 13 paperwork.
Is this the paper you want, or do you
Imagine
like
I
want some
probably
paper?
have that.
You each have an ID card, and then Cyrenixia has the Squad 13 details.
Okay.
Yeah, I show her my nobility ID card that I got at the gate.
Her
Ability.
eyes get really big, and she sort of looks up at you, and she's like, "Oh, so this would sort of show that you descend from members of the plane of fire and..."
Well, that depends what the person at the gate wrote. I wasn't showing out the pedigree stuff.
Oh,
Although
it's just...
will if I need to provide. So you said that the woman at the gate gave me the pass that referenced that, and then I have the other like more extensive translated thing that I got from the translator's office.
And the thing that you got from the translator's office was...
It was a translated copy of my scroll of pedigree, which contains the information, like the noble information.
And which one are you showing her? What you
I'm
got
showing
at
her
the gate?
the ID card I got at the gate, which references the noble stuff, but it depends. If you say so, it references the city of brass. I don't know what
It
the lady.
sort of has your place of origin before you got there. Stated
So yeah, so
intent
the
in
place of origin
city.
before I got there would say city of brass then. City of birth.
Okay, great. And her eyes get really big. She's like, interesting. And sort
no,
of
she wants
hands
to
it
turn me
back
into
to
a
you
vessel.
slowly. And then looks at Agates. And then looks at Cyrenixia and looks... No, Jack!
No.
Wait, he's still on Discord, baby. Is he still on Discord? Jack?
He is, but he's not talking.
Oh, he's back here, maybe. We need you back, Jack. Okay, so really quickly, she just looks at all the paperwork. And spends a little bit more time on the Squad 13, sort of checking to make sure it's not counterfeit, etc. And when she's done with that...
They ask what you're checking for. We're new to this area, and this bureaucracy is mean.
Hello?
Hello!
Welcome
I
back,
think I
Jack.
lost connection.
Okay.
Jack.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
back.
you did.
Yeah, she just looked more carefully at the Squad 13 information and Cyrenexia's paperwork, and then Cyrenexia asks what she's checking for. And I was just about to answer that.
Okay.
Her eyes kind of get small, and she pushes her glasses up further on the bridge of her nose, and she goes, "Well, everybody checks for something different. I'm checking to make sure you're not going to tell."
What?
What you're about to read in this ledger. And she opens it. And it's a long list. It is... And it sort of starts... She kind of looks up at you and sort of goes... Like, lifts up one tab. She's like, "This is what you'll be able to afford now." And that's like... a 1/4 inch, maybe. And the rest you might be able to afford later if you stay alive in the city. And others you might be able to afford if you exit the city. And she sort of shrugs. She said, I've had people who have left the city and come back sometimes, and it's very interesting. But
What is
and
it
of
say?
course, I don't do all of these things here, dear. Some of them my colleagues do for me, and then I sell them. But yes, what would you like to have this vessel be a vessel of?
Can we?
What's
can
on
I
the list?
What's on the
So, the sort of cheaper stuff.
Can't read also, so someone's gonna have to.
list? Abby, you haven't told us this either.
Oh, I guess you're about to find out. Okay, I'm looking at the ledger like really closely.
Ask me last time if you said that you wanted me to teach you to read,
Yeah,
or was that?
I asked you if I don't know if you're or Jommer heard that.
I did not.
So I'm gonna look at the ledger really, really closely and point to the fourth item on the list.
All right.
Those
It's the fourth item on the list.
The fourth item on the list from the top is. Wait, I'm confused. You're pointing to it and saying you want that one?
yes.
Okay,
Oh,
she sort of
no.
like
I can't,
flips it around.
What does
and
it
goes,
say?
I can't read
What
it.
would the rest of us can read?
Oh, the
list?
rest of you look up and see glinting eyes.
What was the item that she pointed to on the list?
Glinting eyes.
Glinting eyes.
Other
Yes.
items were around here on the list. Like,
Other items include teeth chattering, tail twitching, and as you go further down, there's only about 20 items on this first page. One of them includes walking. And
Oh.
she's like, why? She sort of looks at you, Agate, and goes, things get much more interesting a couple pages over. And she flips over and you see, like, squirrel blood of healing and power of climbing and so on and so forth. Like, it basically seems, for those of you who have any idea what potions actually do in this world, in character, it basically seems like the bodies of the animals are both the vessel and in some cases the actual materials for what would be just regular healing potions or potions
do we
of
eat
climbing
them
or
and get
Oh,
healed?
I see.
Is that what you're saying? We have to eat them?
you don't know.
So does it seem like these are consumables, or like this is something where you could purchase and it would work again?
You
I
would
think we-
not know that.
Okay, I was asking then. Are these one-time use?
Well, I mean, glinting eyes you can technically use as many times as you like. It needs a recharge period because, you know, you can't make light out of nothing.
I suppose so.
But
My hand glowing there.
You're not nothing, Sir Nixia.
yes, you might be saying that out loud, in which case she looks over at you. She's like, yes, I can see your life force draining.
Very interesting.
Slowly, but it's disappearing the more you do that.
Oh. How do you see that?
I think it is a combination of too much chipmunk blood and squirrel bile and possibly raccoon saliva, but I'm not sure.
Huh.
It's very
That
interesting.
is a useful thing to be able to see.
How much is my chipmunk if I want to get it with gleaming eyes?
That's
And
super
you just,
creepy.
that's 1 silver piece.
I'm gonna get that.
Okay.
Mentally, Agate has just ratcheted up one level of creepy in Jamra's mind.
I have, or
Yeah, oh yeah. Agate.
yeah.
She started
Okay,
out
The
I
let
adorable, and now she's picking up taxidermy chipmunks that's eyes glow, and it's only gonna get worse from here.
you don't know that.
No, I don't know that.
Okay, so I'm going to. So as soon as I put down the silver and get my chipmunk, I'm gonna hold it really close, and I'm gonna put it very carefully in my bag and be like, "It's okay."
It's very stiff.
That's it.
Okay. Would any of you like to buy something? Don't forget to take the silver piece off.
He did.
So these are all potions.
Some of them are potions. Some of them seem purely ornamental.
Okay. What's the price
the-
range?
Well, I mean, roughly potions cost what they would cost from the player's
Oh, okay.
handbook.
I
And
didn't
then the
know.
more ornamental stuff is like a silver piece, a gold piece, etc.
Interesting. So you said there are things like, okay, some of them like they have chattering teeth, or they walk, or things like that. Um,
Absolutely love that today I have acquired a taxidermy chipmunk and sleeping bread.
do any of them follow you?
Yes.
Hmm.
But that becomes expensive. How long do you want them to follow you? Do you want a tracking squirrel?
That would be very useful if it could trail a scent as it might in life.
Yes. Though I don't know why you'd want to use a squirrel.
No, not necessarily a squirrel.
Looking around the shop, what's the biggest animal she has?
Probably the raccoon above you or the beavers.
I was gonna, owlbear.
just sitting in the corner. It's actually taking up like 3/4 of this whole space.
You have to drink the entire thing.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. You know what it is, too?
Hmm.
Potion of spider climb. Why? No idea.
Oh.
There's also a sugar glider.
Oh my god!
I think that might have to be the tracker.
It's like a drone, but it's a sugar glider. It's drifting above you.
Still totally.
That's bull until it extends its arms and does the little glide, and like
No, I think
tracks it like follows.
It's gliding formation, and so it just like it
Exactly,
moves
so you
around,
could
just
just-
sort of floating as it tracks things in the still
Exactly,
totally
it's-
dead
That's
stiff
pretty cool
position.
too.
It's like a paper airplane. You could just like.
Okay, that's really cool. Oh yeah,
She sort of looks at you all and goes, "Would you like to do me a favor?"
perhaps I suppose it
You have
depends
in
on the
mind.
favor.
Well, I need more rodents.
Seems like you have plenty here.
Yes, but I want to try
Brown.
some experiments.
I see. Perhaps a specific type of rodent, or just more carcasses in general.
Rats, maybe. But any really would be fine. I just... Yes, I think I want more carcasses.
What if we got some troglodytes for you?
Well, the problem would be, I'd be happy.
Very big.
And they did have a potent stench that might be useful for various works.
Very
But you know,
Very
of course, I turn to Agate and I sort of, I as I sort of turn away from the woman and turn to Agate. I give Agate a little wink as I'm like going through the sales pitch here. Say, well, you know that the town they purchased them as well, and there would have to be a better bid if we were to sell them elsewhere.
They have really important medicinal qualities that you might really like. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I think you might like
No, you really aren't.
them.
She sort of just looks at you, just like, the city pays a gold per troglodyte because they are nuisances. Their blood is practically useless to me unless I wanted to make a potion of not smelling. That, I guess. She like closes the binder and like puts it back on the shelf and then grabs like a tiny little notebook and starts scribbling. Yes. You could give me troglodytes. I
It is your-
suppose. Or spider venom. I think I need more spider venom.
We would be happy to harvest their blood and venom for a suitable fee.
Well, if you bring me a whole spider, I suppose, without it being destroyed, a giant spider would be best. I would prefer
We killed 3 of those, right? Was
We
it 3 or
killed
4?
One giant spider and like
1. Okay.
3 troglodytes.
The corpse is still there. We didn't take the corpse back.
That's
You
true.
did not take the corpse back, this is true.
How fresh
How?
would you require these to be?
I mean, the older they get, the less potent they are, unless, of course, I want them to be less potent, which can be useful.
We can provide one killed within the last day.
I would like that. I would be willing to pay you.
How much are you offering?
Well, at least 5 gold. Depends on how good condition it is in. If its legs are falling off, it's no use to me. I mean,
Thought you wanted its venom.
But perhaps there are any number of different portions of the carcass that would be used to her.
She nods.
And how much would a tracking glider cost us?
Rain check? Question mark?
Basically trying to offer like a quid pro quo here.
No.
Great.
Well, for a glider, 3 spiders.
What?
3
3
spiders.
So you're saying 15 gold in value. That is a very expensive
I did not say it was 15 gold in value.
Well, you valued the spider at 5. 5 and 5 and 5. It's 15.
She nods slowly.
Yes,
That
Matt.
is expensive.
It is, but it also tracks for a full 24 hours. Doesn't track.
That is useful.
The longer
It
the
would, of
enchantment,
course-
the longer it takes, of course. I spend lots
It
of
would, of
time.
course, need to be reusable.
It would need to be recharged. Most of these things need to be recharged.
I see. And how would one recharge them?
Blood.
The old magic. Very good, very good. I think that this... I turn to the other 2 and say, perhaps this could be a very useful arrangement for us. Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I really like my chipmunk.
It is a good
Perhaps.
chipmunk. And I will...
Go ahead.
No, you got something to say.
I'm being thoughtful. Go ahead.
Okay.
Stop being thoughtful. Say the thing.
I'll say, alright, we will bring you some spiders. And I do have one other question for you. You have a tremendous selection here
Hmm.
of uh, of animals. Uh, how do you normally get the carcasses? I mean, surely, and I look around to some of the ones that are like the chipmunks and things that don't really live in cities. Do you have hunters that go out into the woods?
Yes.
Oh, I file that away in the back of my head as like it is possible to go out into the woods and not get killed. There's like a
Oh,
survivable area. That means.
useful.
Um, and do you have you mentioned some sort of a network. Is this are you part of a trading concern that goes across to other cities, or is this a local business?
Yes.
Both? What does
She
she mean
just
by that?
stares at you.
I'd like to make an insight check to understand what she meant by that, then.
I love her.
Huh?
She's lovely. I don't know if you actually rolled anything.
I haven't. I
Oh, okay.
you didn't say anything in response.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, go ahead and make an insight check when you.
Okay.
Sorry. She
Sure,
means
10.
yes.
That's not a meaning. I'll look at her then.
That
I'll just keep staring at her.
she stares back.
Well,
There's
Did
one
have
long, slow blink.
question for myself as well. Have has anything been troubling you? Are there any problems about in this quarter of the city? Anything the public good could be that could serve you? Are you aware of any issues?
She sort of peers up, craning. Then her gaze snaps back to Jamra. Just troglodytes. And you know,
Hmm.
there's creepy crawlies in my floor and in my walls.
Hmm.
Goodbye!
Goodbye.
You
We
guys
shall
have
return
my
with
chipmunk.
your prize. Okay.
It was very nice. I really liked her.
She was a person.
Yes. I am very interested in what is going on.
I mean, I haven't been very many places. Have you seen stores like this somewhere else?
Uh, not quite like this. But
I am
there are many strange and wonderful things in creation, Agate. Uh, there are beautiful and terrifying sights, and things that have been made that are their equal.
Mm.
But I have never seen a woman surrounded by taxidermied animals that she uses to make potions out of. No, I have not.
It's pretty cool.
It is very cool, and it provokes some interesting questions.
Pull out my chipmunk and stare at it a little bit.
Its eyes gleam.
You think?
They change colors.
Oh my god. I'm gonna be like, I like whisper just to the chipmunk. In there? Like, how are. Wow, your eyes. Like, cause I don't understand magic, so, like.
Mhm.
Be somewhat alive. It's like, it's okay, I'll figure it out. And I put it back in my bag.
As you ask that, its eyes changed from brown to blue very slowly.
That's creepy.
Oh, hi. Very nice to meet
it. squirrel is not alive.
Very cool.
It's
Okay.
perhaps killed and preserved in the manner in which you have seen it. The gleaming of the eyes is some sort of arcane trick on it by this
No,
squirrel woman.
I think he's in there somewhere. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, I said
maybe.
something and his eyes changed.
Oh gosh. I just
I
thought of
guess.
something. Remember your hamster, Sarah?
Huh?
Yeah.
Well,
That would be very interesting. I'm a very cheerful person, and then like something comes up, and I'm like, "Wow, you're twisted." Okay, so where are you headed, all of you?
I would like to sort of stop by, like, I would like to walk through the marketplace. We can go wherever you guys want to go, but I am trying to look for what are the common shops that we're seeing again and again. What sort of materials and goods are coming through? What seems to be things that are being shipped out? And if we get near the docks, how many ships are leaving? How many ships are coming in? And particularly airships. Like you, because you mentioned those before. Like, is that a common means of transport here?
Airships
Um,
into or
out of like leaving the city and going out as opposed to boat ships. From what we said in our prior conversation, you seem to indicate that sailing ships were primarily for local fishing expeditions and stuff up along the coast,
Yep.
whereas airships were long distance.
Yes,
And
that is true.
I'm okay. Okay. Um, and I'm trying to get a feel now for like what goods are being shipped in and out of here. Where's the money going? Where's the money moving? What are some good markets?
Where is the money?
A lot of people seem to be doing. Sorry, words are hard. A lot of people seem to be in the business of selling plants, and
Hmm.
so things that come in are stuff like grain, barley, sort of grain crops, and
Okay.
so what a lot of people will do is they will sell. Sorry, make an investigation check.
Okay.
What am I doing?
Fuck this bullshit.
They import grain.
God damn it.
While this is all happening, I'd also,
Yay!
as we're
I
walking
mean, I'm just
up,
gonna keep.
I'm sorry,
I would
Jack.
like to continue asking around to see what sorts of like problems are going on. If it's really just troglodytes, or if there are any other issues that might need to be dealt with.
And you're not leaving Gullsfoot. You're just sort of staying in the area, right?
I think we're staying in Gullsfoot for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me to make an investigation check as well.
Yes, please.
I hate you.
You managed to find one kid.
Glorified meat shield.
Jeez. What was I saying? Oh yeah, you managed to find one teenage girl who's.
Did you say your hit point total was, by the way, Jack?
15.
I can
Exciting.
kill you in one hit without a crit.
Well, good for you.
Is your
Anyway.
PvP over? Alright, so as you're looking around, you find a teenage boy who sort of looks up at you and seems absolutely in awe. And he's sort of tall and gangly for an elf. And he sort of looks at you and he's like, well, I mean, you hear stuff, you know? But, like, there's the troglodytes.
Like what?
You know about the troglodytes, right?
Yes, that seems to be a common problem around here.
And then there's like, I guess there was a jewelry heist a while back. There's some of that stuff that's missing.
Where was this heist? Where did this take place?
He sort of like shrugs. Close by, I guess. It was a big deal, but not like the biggest deal, you know? I guess when the people came through, they just kind of took stuff and then hid it, and then that was the end of that. But that, it's sort of closer to Pemulp than anything. Like it's not in Gullsfoot.
Name? Do you happen to remember the name of the store?
He just shakes his head.
Well, do you have any idea? Is there any locational awareness with the troglodyte attacks? Is there some area that they seem to be more common? I know we've seen some around the granary. Well,
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where they are. That's where they hang out. Where there's granaries. They don't really do stuff outside of that.
Do you like anywhere other than granaries or just the granaries?
I mean, anywhere there's food, really. Butcher shops sometimes, but butcher shops tend to have knives. And the guards like hanging out there more. And they like hanging out in front of the granaries. Gullsfoot seems to have a lot of those problems with
very well.
yeah. Let me think what else.
I'll hand him a copper piece.
His eyes get really big. He's like, thanks! And he sort of runs off before you can change your mind.
The least I could do.
Literally.
Okay. If
Well
you
then.
ask around a little bit more, pretty much it seems like it's troglodytes. A couple of people are griping about the fact that the tournament has been crowding the streets and that people have been getting off work. And so the streets aren't quite as clean of vermin and such. They sort of seem like they know you're street sweepers. You kind of have that look of someone who's just trying to find trouble so they can fix it or die. And so they don't seem very excited by the fact that you're asking, but like, hey, you're asking, so why not tell you? It doesn't seem like there's a ton really that's going on. Except
I guess
for
we
a
should go
foreman.
back and get the spider then.
Your picture vanished. Everybody froze.
Is everyone frozen?
Oh, just
You were just very still.
Am I back? Am I back?
I still can't see your
You're
picture.
frozen. Yeah.
Now you're back.
Yeah. I think you're also frozen, buddy. Yeah. Oh no, you're not. You
She's just being very still.
I'm
still.
Difference.
working on the map since I can draw and talk simultaneously.
Okay. Interesting stuff.
Yep.
I guess let's go find the spider.
Yeah, we can do that now. We can head deeper into the.
There we go.
Although, do we want to do that before we reconvene with the rest of the group? Because I know that will take, like, we need 3 spiders. That'll take us deeper into the.
That's true. This might be a good place to like end a mini adventure.
Yeah, and if we have some downtime now, I would like to go
Yeah, we can
people
totally talk about. We can talk about downtime. We can talk about rules for downtime. We can do anything.
Fight something.
You suck, mister.
Leveled up. I have new powers.
Yes, and
It's not all about killing people, you know?
Should look at the Discord.
Okay, look at this one. Yep. Oh dear. That's awful. Oh god.
that's so cute. You're so weird.
How
love
do you
us.
look at that and say that is cute?
I also look at spiders and say that is cute.
Spiders.
Some spiders can be.
That's so cute. Look at his little mouth.
Mhm.
No, I look. What was it? Oh, Jack, I don't know if you've actually read Brandon Sanderson's stuff yet.
I have not.
Okay, but he has like. Oh no, on Magic cards. What is that thing, Derek, on your mouse?
Your text.
Yeah. I think that's the cutest thing.
What?
The giant Edie thing. That's made of. It's like a bug.
Oh, that, yes. Ironclad Crowrod, I think, is what you're talking about.
Yes. I think it's really cute. He only let me stare at it for 5 minutes. Then he made me put it away. It was very
Wait, hang
beautiful.
on. As we're walking out, what are the types of... I'm trying to remember what types of bread there were. There was the...
Sleeping bread, there was plague bread, there was,
Protection bread.
there was what bread?
bread.
Damage immunity bread.
Okay.
Yes, protection bread.
I ate the protection bread.
Do you have like a... Jamra, do you have like a little piece of your protection bread left?
Sure. Oh, there's some crumbs or something in the bag.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to feed the chipmunk.
The chipmunk's teeth are not openable enough to put your finger in. And are you going to press harder?
Wow, that's creepy.
Says the man who, like, fed his mice caffeine.
That was for science.
Well,
I'm just gonna try to like gently like nudge it between its teeth and like, you know, like stick it in its cheek or something. Like put a little of protection bread in there. As we're walking.
a crumb manages to make its way through.
Okay, I'm satisfied.
Right.
This is
Um,
so weird.
Yeah,
I gave Sarah
I'm-
something to run with. I should have known after triangle number 7.
I carefully don't look at that.
Okay.
You said so. Sarah, you said Agate was going to go off on her own for a little while.
She has like a mini shopping trip that she wants to do.
Okay, maybe this is a good time for her to do that,
Okay.
and I think
We can each do like one thing at a time if you want, or if you don't care if other people know. We can basically go shopping.
Okay, we can go shopping. Hang on. I wanna try to figure out what's happening with...
Yeah. Okay. In the meantime, Jamra, what do you want to do?
Janma wants to go to the harbor.
Okay. So you're
and-
exiting the gates.
Oh, is the entire thing outside of the gates?
The harbor is outside of the gates.
Okay, Janma wants to go to the warehouses where the stuff is stored,
What
like
stuff?
that area. Presumably, they store goods when in the city.
Mm-hmm.
When they they're not just like left on the docks, right? When they're
yes,
gonna
this
like
is
load and
accurate.
unload ships. I want to go to that district where the carts are going in and out, and they're bringing things in from the docks and they're bringing things out to load onto airships. And I want to go and chat up an overseer on one of those little, on one of those, like that is managing one of those little warehouses.
Okay.
Oh, so hang on. A DM question. So, is there any there's no access to the ocean in the district of the city we're in right now?
Not in
If
Gullsfoot. Accurate. So
that district,
Hearthstone, or whatever I called it, Hearthfire. Um, I know this name. It just like got mixed up at one point before I said it to you guys, and now it's like too much information. So Hearthfire is outside the gates. It's where you all met and were at the tavern where they couldn't even change a gold piece.
okay.
Um,
Is there a if we left the district we're in now, do we have the paperwork to get back?
yes.
I'm gonna tap on Jamra's shoulder and being like,
Hmm?
I heard you wanted to go to the harbor. I would love to see the ocean again. I really like it.
Sure. I would be happy to accompany you.
All right. So you two are heading to the harbor. Cyrenexia, are you also, or
I'm gonna find a blacksmith.
the same blacksmith?
Oh, he was quenching his metal in water. I don't trust him.
You're so mean. You're so mean to me.
Let's make all the blacksmiths in the city siblings so that they all act exactly the same.
Yes, payback.
There you go. There you go.
You're
Okay.
assuming that I have that much of a memory of what the other blacksmith was acting like.
And then,
Okay, so you two head towards the gate. As you're leaving, a woman.
Before we part ways, should we up again?
oh, do you want to? Let's meet back at town. I don't quite want to be out here very late.
Perhaps this afternoon at the bureaucrats. We likely need to speak to them before we go down into the tunnels again.
Oh, that's a good idea. We need to get permission first, probably.
Yes, something like that. Established favorable rates of exchange.
Okay. So you're meeting back up where?
Office 154.
Yeah.
154. Alright, so John and Cyrenexia, you guys head out towards the gate. As you get there, a woman looks at your IDs and sort of says, well, alright then. Mind you coming back in before the sun sets. Well, it's easier. Unless, what's your business leaving?
We're just gonna go. We're gonna go see the sea for a bit.
She nods, scribbles something down, and out you go.
All right. Do you wish me to accompany you to the shore, or
Want? Well, you don't have to.
I'd be
I'm
happy
just gonna. Okay.
if.
We're gonna head down to the beach, and
All
what
right.
I'm gonna do, and like you hear me as we're walking to the beach, talking to the chipmunk and being like, when I don't feel that great, the sea makes me feel better.
I don't know at all if this is sincere or not as Jack, but Jamra just thinks this kid is adorable, and if a little misguided.
So like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit on the beach and with the chipmunk, and I'm gonna look at the ocean, and I'm gonna look at the chipmunk and see anything. I was like, Jara, I fed it some bread. I fed some of the protection bread earlier, so I'm hoping it's gonna be better. You know?
I hope so too, Agate, although I fear it may not be.
This poor kid.
I will stare out over the ocean
I love
and
this.
just watch the waves roll in and think about how different it is to the seas of my home.
All right.
Are you used to the ocean? Have you been to a beach before?
Sort of, but not exactly. On in my home, you wouldn't want to go into the water. It's very
Switzerland.
hot.
Oh, but warm water is so nice.
It's I don't like to swim.
Oh, okay.
My
Some.
when I was very young, my brothers played a cruel trick, and they told me to go take a swim in the canal. And I went and I swam and I was badly burnt.
Oh,
So something about it just always stuck with me.
I like swimming. Generally, I mean, there's water by my house, and that's where I always go when I'm trying to go somewhere other than where I usually am. Seashells a lot.
Oh,
I didn't know. I know the boats would leave from the port, but I didn't know where they would go. I'd never been anywhere else, so it's really interesting to like look out and if anything is there.
why, Agate, if you don't mind me asking, why did you get on the ship?
I want to be where I was. Now I'm here, and there's a lot better.
I'm glad. I'm glad. And from what you say, your home seems like it was very beautiful.
It was beautiful, but not very nice.
I'm sorry. Neither was mine. Homes have a way of being that way, I suppose.
Found my chipmunk again.
Pick up a stone and look it over, back and forth. Toss it, try to skip it, but it just plunks right in. Completely different system of the the magma has a much firmer surface.
Oh,
And then just a sigh.
All right. So the longer you stand there, the more the waves sort of calm you. And it just seems very peaceful. There's fishing boats the men are sort of mending things for, and there's sailors off of ships mending sails, and it seems sort of quiet now that it's closer to midday. Cyrenexia.
I am looking for a blacksmith.
All right. Investigation check.
Okay. No choice but to go to the one that I already know where it is.
You have no idea where there could possibly be a different blacksmith. So you go back to the blacksmith that you know. However, you get lost on your way there.
Okay.
And
Ow.
people point you wrong. And you spend an hour or two going around in circles until you realize you have gone around in circles.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. You realize you have no idea where you could possibly find a blacksmith.
At all? Like
At all.
my time is wasted.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you made fun of my blacksmith. But you do manage to find a person that is whittling something very nice out of wood.
Useless to me.
What else would you like to do?
I need to find a blacksmith, so I'm gonna just keep looking for a blacksmith until we.
You
Time to
eventually
meet up.
find the blacksmith that you met with Orentha,
Okay.
sort of sitting on a chair, looking at their hands.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I was wondering, are you familiar with the method for crafting full plate armor, or how one might come about such things?
I do simpler stuff down here. You might
Would you
want to.
be able to direct me to someone who?
Yeah, let me think. There's. You're better off going to Cynic Heights. That's sort of where the Trinkle Guard gets its stuff.
To where? Sorry, I didn't. What's the Cynic height?
Cynic Heights. It's
Okay.
where the Trinkle Guard gets their stuff made. I do easier things, shurikens, small metal. Things that it doesn't matter so much if it breaks down.
Yes. For your help.
You're welcome.
That will be all.
Alright.
Go off. But I idea how far it would be, how long it would take me to get to the.
So, let me pull up the map that I colored in.
If that's okay.
What, dear?
Leave.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Go.
Okay. Thanks, guys. This was fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed
All right.
yourself.
I'm excited. I have a tiny taxidermy creepy ass
I
chipmunk.
kind of I really am kind of expecting art of a chipmunk soon.
You already got art. I don't know what more you expect.
True.
I'm expecting that you will have time on your hands and we'll make a chipmunk. Okay, hold on.
I can only lead to good places, really. This creepy dead chipmunk. All right.
The whole thing. Alright, so if you guys go to group me, you will see a map. And
Ooh, I like it.
thank you. And this is a rough thing of the districts. There's stuff that's messed up on it that I'll fix later when my mouse works better and my tablet. But basically on the outside of the gates, the big triangle, sort of where the dip comes in on the land, that's Hearthfire. And then right at the point of the triangle, that first sort of polygon is Gullsfoot. Cynic Heights is one of the greener squares that's sort of long and longitudinal. So I'm going to try and figure out how to get it into here so that we can play around. So delete this. No items. Let me select and then delete. Okay, and then uploading. I figured you guys would have something fun to look at first. Do 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 do. Clear drawings. It's still loading. It's apparently quite big. There we go. Can I rename? There we go. Gravira map. There.
Uploaded to?
What, dear?
Where is this being uploaded to?
Gravira.
You putting this the wiki or
No,
the chat
I'm
or
putting
what?
it on Roll20.
Oh,
It's just, it came out as a square.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's really dumb.
Okay.
So excuse me while I lengthen this.
So I
Okay.
assume that the red, like the
So this
the
is Hearthfire,
okay.
Gullsfoot, and then this one is Cynic Heights.
That's that's a ways off.
It is, but
Okay.
this is
Big
the
of a
center.
city is this? Like, how long would it take me to walk from one side to the other?
It won't take you forever. In fact, you
Can't
probably
yeah,
shouldn't
the
have
city's
got
only
to-
like 15,000 people.
Yeah.
That's like how long?
I
a
don't
time.
know, Derek. Why do you expect me to do both geography and math at 10 p.m.?
Oh, we can figure this out fairly quickly. Like the city
Like,
can't be
you
more
know
than an
me. You
hour's
want
walk
that I want it to be
across.
mathematical. Any answer I give you will be wrong.
Derek, where are you now?
Who's here-ish?
He's hereish. He wants to get hereish, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's about halfway across the city. 20 minutes? Half an hour? Does that seem fair?
Okay.
Yeah.
About
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Okay. There you go.
Then second question is the wood like being around? What is the defines the boundary of a district? Are there like distinct boundaries and like entryways, or just sort of like this area is just has a slightly different feel to it that you know this sort of after you've walked around for a while?
So you notice that as you get really, it's sort of subtle within red areas or green areas or purple areas. Roughly, like the general affluence of the place seems higher in purple places, followed by bluish places, followed by green, followed by, you wouldn't be in green or brown, but unless you really decided to cut through. So the affluence goes up. There's more guards around. Streets are swept. Streets become cobbled maybe instead of dirt. But within, like, say, blue districts versus purple districts, and I'll change the colors of these later so that it's easier. But it really seems sort of more subtle. Like the houses might be painted slightly different colors.
Like it's not like if I walk from one street to the other, there's not like a guard station in the middle. It's like you're passing from this district to the next district. Show
No.
me your papers.
No.
Okay.
Alright, so it takes you about a half hour to get to Cynic Heights. And then, as you're looking around, you realize you're not quite sure which way to go. The streets are wider here than they are in Gullsfoot, but there's no signs per se. Like, there's a few signs that sort of say this way to headquarters or that way to Castle Moat or the Queen's Ear or stuff like that. But it's not like this is this street name and this is what we do here, etc.
At headquarters, keeping an eye out.
Right. As you walk through, you sort of notice, like, in Gullsfoot, people tend to just have carts out of food or things that they want to sell, and they sell them. Here it seems much more like there's streets full of storefronts, and the streets that have storefronts just have a sort of wall of storefronts, and the street and shopping involves ducking in and out of small buildings or larger buildings, as the case may be. Basically, it's a lot closer to mall rather than Middle
To
Eastern
what?
market. It's closer to a mall setup
Yeah.
than anything else, but there's still like a food cart pushing its way around, and those actually tend to be drawn by a person or two and then the cook behind, but they don't hawk their wares.
I'd like to actually I'd like to find a guard.
Alright, there's a guard on roughly every 3 street corners, so it doesn't take you long to find one. Sort of looks you up and down. May I help you?
Yes, excuse me, sir. I am looking for an armorer. I was hoping see what I could do about some better equipment.
Sort of points down the street and goes, there's one down there that we like using, but she's pretty busy with orders relatively regularly. If you need something fast, there's stuff closer to that way, and he points east. The previous person was north.
It's what?
North. The first person that they all use is north, and the one that's not quite so busy is east.
I'll head to the first person that they all use. That seems more trustworthy.
Alright. As you get in, there's
Force
a
you.
woman working, pounding slag into shapes. You're not quite sure yet. Seems like she's just purifying it right now. Can't hear you.
Oh, there's another blacksmithing thing that I'm not going to comment on.
I don't know these
No,
things, okay?
that's why I'm-
You
that's why
can
I'm-
run D&D.
Excuse me, ma'am. Might I have a moment of your time?
She sort of looks up in 1 second and finishes up what she's doing and then turns to you. Yeah? What can I do you for?
I was wondering if I might be able to... I'm looking to get a little bit more protective armor than I currently have. As you can see, this is perfectly serviceable, but working around the city and cleaning things up and protection would be nice if I could find it. And I was wondering if services I might be able to provide in exchange for a better suit of armor.
What do you do now?
I am currently employed as a street sweeper.
She nods. Well, alright, I mean, you look sturdy. Far be it from me to tell another woman. No, but you're gonna have a hard time trying to afford it. Do you want to be an apprentice?
Not precisely, no.
I mean, I guess if you... I mean, the first thing you'd have to do if you wanted to make enough money for... When do you want this by? The end of your lifetime? This year?
Would I go
Week?
about to be earning a little bit more money?
I mean, the first thing to do is to get well known. And then you can work your way up the ranks. She sort of sits down. You sort of get the sense she's taking her break. Sort of crosses her arms over her chest. Let me think. Well, when I first got here, you know, you do the menial tasks first. You have to work your way up before people get to know you and like you. What have you done so far? How long have you been here?
Been here for 3 days now.
How many days?
3.
3 days? Well, you move fast. How much money do you have to save it up so far?
Nearly enough to afford the armor, which is why I was hoping I might be able to provide some services or something, but... No, this place and its
Roll a
bureaucracy
persuasion
can
check.
frustrate me.
She nods. I mean, really, I don't even think. I mean, you're looking at an investigation as a street sweeper. You get full plate armor. The best thing you can do is to do big, flashy things that will get the attention of someone in the city, and then you can work your way up. You can.
Serving some lordling.
Yeah, they pay pretty
But
well. I know, at least in Pemmelp, there's a couple of merchants looking for private guards. And then, I mean, once you get well known enough, you can always venture outside Guivira. Dangerous.
one would be well known to venture outside of the city. Is there some?
Well, see, they don't like sending people off to die. So
Very
it's
well.
not just being well known, it's also having enough power to not die. And the better well known you are, I mean, if you come in with power, then you're known pretty well to begin with, at least in some circles, and then it's easier to get the paperwork to be let out on the western side. But it's hard to get out if you're not well known or powerful enough. They might even have you do a test or something, because I've heard stories. Apparently, before this, they just had a lot of people just trying to leave the city and then coming home dead or not coming back at all.
They came home dead. That's impressive that they got back. Totally out of character.
Friends brought them home.
You say notability. I've been hearing word of a tournament that is occurring or going to occur.
Yeah, they've been gathering people up for it.
Is
I
it
think tomorrow's the last day.
last day of the
but,
tournament or the last day to sign up for it?
Last day of the tournament.
Would that provided a good showing, perhaps assist in my
No, you do well.
goals?
They do good stuff. Let's see. Or is tomorrow? Wait. Sort of thinks they don't really advertise for people in the tournament today. I think that the big fight is tomorrow. But that's all the way in Gullsfoot. Yeah, you'd get some good money. You'd get known. People who like you might offer you jobs. And again, the better well known you get, the easier it is to get money. Because it's something of an art, the salary.
Very well then. Thank you for one more. Thank you for your time. One more thing. I heard the guards around here recommending you. Are you certainly in the area, I presume?
Yeah.
Once I have found my way into some money, I may be back here to hire your services.
She sort of grins like, "Oh gee, thank you." But no, it's
Thank you
good
for
to
your
see.
help.
You're welcome. Always happy to help.
The tournament now. Motivation for the tournament.
Yeah,
Hey.
you should. I mean, I think it makes sense, honestly, for our characters that each person is sort of going about different ways of accumulating fame.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can enter a solo fight, I think going the tournament makes a lot of sense for you.
I'm not. I'd rather go in as a group. I think we have a better chance of doing well. But I have no idea how this tournament works. So first, we need to find some organizers and talk to them and find out how these things happen.
You should pursue that.
Tamra, what
cool.
would you like to do? It's been about
I
an
think
hour and a half.
Yeah,
I think.
after a while, I think if if Agate is still at the shore, I'll say my goodbyes to her and let her know I have a few things to do,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna walk over to the wharf.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over to one of the docks. So, okay, these colored areas outside the walls, these are the docks, right?
No, so that's the sort of districts. The docks are actually within that little. I haven't drawn them yet because they
Okay,
didn't end up looking pretty, but they are like sort of right outside of that.
they're outside of this.
Yeah. No, there's like
Okay,
here. Sorry, I forgot I could
okay,
click and ping
they're
things.
okay. They're all in this sort of bay.
Yeah.
Okay, um, and I imagine that there are a few different wharves.
Yes.
Okay. And are the airship docks in the same location as the ship docks?
The airship docks are closer to here.
Okay,
The ship docks are closer to here.
gotcha.
Sorry,
So,
that
I
is
mean,
not supposed to
my
be.
point was mainly like they're not like down here or something.
No.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna head over to the airship docks.
Okay.
And oh, I love the islands off the coast. That's really interesting. That's
I
something to
just
investigate long term.
I just
Uh,
based it off of what you had on that picture.
oh,
Yeah.
Some
I'm
good
glad you
shelter
liked the
from
picture.
storms and things.
Yes, well, it makes it very clear why they chose this location because there are these barrier islands. It's like North Carolina. Um, and these are great locations for us to set up bases later on if no one is there. And if someone is there and they're nefarious, it's a great place to take over. Um, so I'll head over to one of the wharves, and I will look for whoever is the wharf master, the overseer for that particular one. And as he's sort of going about his business, I will walk up and introduce myself and um, try to start up a conversation, chatting with him about business going on, and try to get a feel for who's trading, what's the hot commodities, what's going on here.
So sorry, this is airships?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Persuasion. Or
Okay.
charisma. Sorry, charisma.
I imagine
Words are hard.
wouldn't it be persuasion because persuasion is the skill within it?
You're trying to persuade him to give you information, or you're
Yeah.
just like sort of shooting the breeze?
I mean,
Okay,
both.
persuasion.
Like I'm shooting the breeze as a means to get the information.
Persuasion then. He sort
Okay,
of
15.
warms up to it and it's like, well, I go from here to Hasnim pretty frequently, bring stones, take over goods and stuff. It's he sort of thinks, well, there's I don't know if I should say, but rooftop plants, some weaving. We have nice weavers here, stuff like that.
Of course, of course. And I'm just interested in speaking to someone. Uh, you mentioned, I of course wouldn't want you to give away any confidences, but I have some services I might be able to provide and possibly help out someone looking for perhaps some investment in a venture. You mentioned Hassanim was being quite popular lately.
Just for my ship, I mean, there's ships that goes to Veresi, ships that go
Oh, I
to
see. Oh, sorry,
Idlanim.
is this the captain of a particular ship?
Oh, you're talking to a wharf master?
Yeah.
Jeez. I'm
Sorry.
on top of things. I swear I'm on top of things.
It's okay. I can go
Yeah,
talk to a
let's just
wharfmaster after this.
Yeah, okay. So let's just pretend you're talking to a captain somewhere
Okay.
off
What
his
does
ship.
sorry, what is so he ships stone, you
He
said?
ships stone from Hasnim
Okay. To
in
here.
and takes out something he didn't really want to talk about.
Okay.
And weaving and rooftop plants.
Something he didn't want to talk about. Okay.
He was sort of like, I don't know if I should say.
So, it's I just I had come into a bit of money, and I understood that that the proper person to speak to about investing would be down here. So if there is something of transporting, I would be very interested in an investment opportunity to assist in that travel. But I understand if you don't want to discuss it.
How much are you talking?
Starting investment, well, of course, it would depend on your needs, and starting looking at least 100 gold pieces. But these numbers can, of course, much depends on price, rate of return. You understand,
Yeah.
a businessman like yourself.
Sort of nods. Well, I'll let you know when I'm leaving. What's your direction?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I'll let you know when I'm leaving. What's your direction? Planning to stay in the area a little bit longer.
Yes, I will be around. I believe I'm about to change lodgings though. So I will be, if you're going to be here for another few days, I will gladly check back down here 2 days from now. But if you're leaving before then, or you need to send word, I have some ongoing concerns at office, and I will give the office number of the office that we're at.
54.
Office 54. What?
154.
154. Yes. And I will be sure to reply imminently.
Do you have a name?
Yes, I am Hazrat Farouk Kasim.
Alright. I'll look you up. Do you have any special skills or anything, or you just want to put in money?
I consider myself mainly a financier, but I do have certain connections relating to very particular avenues of good shipment.
He sort of blinks. What does that mean?
Specifically relating to magical goods.
And you can sort of see the wheels turning. He's trying to figure out what all of these words you're using meant. Especially in connection to magical items. And then you sort of see him give up.
I say, allow me to rephrase. I do have certain contacts that are involved in the shipment and purchase of magical goods, and I have some familiarity with values, maintenance of, transportation of such things, and in addition to any currency I could provide, I also have some experience in those areas as a more active partner.
Nod slowly. Thanks,
But I
Don.
understand if you do not want to discuss your work any further at this time, and like to sort of like try to leave the opening for him to mention what it is. Perhaps using the information I've given him about my capabilities is a bit of a carrot.
Sort of nods. How are you with octopuses?
Octopuses. It would depend, I suppose, on what sort of octopuses are you referring to?
Alive ones. Big ones.
Live ones. Big ones. How big?
Sort of shows with his hands something like, it's like the head is about this big and it's about the size of like a basketball.
Can I make a check to identify what he's talking about from the description? Do I think he's referring to just like octopi, or is this like a specific kind of creature that is?
It is an octopus of that, with the head
Oh.
being that size.
I don't have any specific relation to the animal themselves, but I am familiar with their use. I know that many of them have these glands in their skin that, when properly expressed and processed, can produce beautiful dyes. But I was more involved in. I more understood the dry shipment of those materials.
So you're not good with live octopuses.
Not so much live, no.
Well, I'll let you know if I can use you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I will head down the gangplank, and I'll go over to the. I'll meander about, sort of trying to look around and get a feel for things surreptitiously. Do I see anything on the dock that seems like this is an investment opportunity, or something that pops out to me as like this ship seems well apportioned, um, or here's a ship that could use some more work?
You do see one with its mast broken.
Interesting.
And it seems sort of abandoned. There's one person sort of standing guard next to the gangplank.
Okay.
But he doesn't look very happy to be there.
Okay. I'm gonna go over and talk to the wharf master.
Alright. So the wharf master is a
Sorry.
sorry. The wharf master is a sort of petite halfling, thinner than most halflings in terms of like not quite as rotund, but not skinny.
Okay.
And she has long blonde hair that's sort of swept off to the side and kind of curly and like pinned in weird places, and it looks slightly crazy but almost elegant.
Okay. Interesting.
And she looks up as you walk in.
I'll say, good afternoon.
Afternoon, the paperwork?
Will show her. I will show her the nobility paperwork.
No, your sailor permit.
Sorry.
Your
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not the sailor.
captain? You don't look like a captain.
Not yet. But I did want to speak to you about such things. I understand that you have quite a few fine ships here that have just come in. I'm a businessman, and I'm looking for business partners. I'm interested in assisting and facilitating the shipment of some goods and wares out of the city, and I was wondering if you, well, being a local who has such first-hand experience, is aware of any such opportunities.
What do you want to sell?
I am not so much interested in selling a particular thing as in being involved with people who understand their business and being able to support and profit from their endeavors. Doesn't need to be something in particular.
You want to
Foot in the door, if you understand.
invest or
Sorry, what?
speculate? Do you want to invest or you want to speculate, basically?
Are you asking me or is she asking me?
Sorry, she's asking you, do you want to
You
speculate?
want to invest or speculate?
So I was asking you, do you want to invest? And then
Oh,
I
okay.
realized she should be asking that. And then I was like, she would probably say speculate rather than invest. And then it all just got confused. So she goes,
Okay.
do you want to speculate?
It can be such a harsh word, but I would be interested, yes.
All right. I mean, I could give you a list of people who need some extra blunt to get them off on their way, or who have some extra space in cargo if you want to purchase something. You can't really sell anything in the city without a mercantile permit,
Of course.
which
of
I
course.
assume you don't have or you wouldn't be here.
Not at this moment, no. And I am not so much interested in selling in the city as in assisting its merchants in selling without.
So you want to give a merchant money to buy something, to sell it, to give you money.
Not necessarily so labyrinthine, but
She sort of points to a chair and says, "Please sit. You're very
course.
interesting.
I
Tell
will
me
sit
more."
down. Say, well, I'm to be perfectly honest, I'm trying to. I would like. What's her? Does she seem actually interested,
Yeah.
or am I okay? Um, I'll say, well, it occurs to me that as a relatively relatively new settlement competing with numerous older cities, uh, Guavira may have a need for capital in the investment and the development of its business opportunities. Uh, these other cities, they lack Corvira's position, its success on a new developing continent, but what they have is deeply entrenched concerns and power. My hope is that I can assist Guavira in combating those things for our mutual benefit. And to do so, I thought that I might assist in the funding of certain mercantile ventures abroad. I understand that there is some. Well, okay, you're still there.
Yes.
I
Sorry.
understand that there is some goods that are being shipped out from Guavira
Mm-hmm.
and being sold abroad, and I would certainly be interested in investing uh, in such profitable operations. But as you mentioned before, if there are goods that need to be purchased abroad and brought in, I would certainly be willing to invest in that as well. And you seemed like the person to speak to who has an eye on the ground level and sees these things coming in and out every day.
So you don't have a mercantile permit
No,
yet.
not to sell in the city, not yet.
All right. So,
Although I would certainly be
it,
interested in acquiring one.
of course, well, it doesn't really. The best thing you can really do, if I was to give you advice,
Mm.
is you would want to purchase. You'd want to give a captain or merchant money to purchase something under her name, and then they would sell it abroad and keep the profits or whatever they make off of what you gave them, and they'd bring that money back. And that would be how you'd be, because otherwise you get stuck in goods or jewelry, and you might be left with things you can't sell, because
Certainly.
you don't. Why don't you have a mercantile permit yet?
It's an unfortunate case of bureaucratic speed. Uh, I was sent to and fro, back and forth to all these different offices, and I thought to myself, while all of this is happening and things are progressing, I am wasting valuable time, and I should speak to someone now, so I don't miss out on opportunities. I anticipate I shall have a permit, but of course I wouldn't want to make any assumptions.
Yeah, so the best thing to do is to give
And I
someone
confess,
money and instructions for what to buy for you, and then hope that you get things back. Well, if they
tell
come
me,
back.
yes, that can be a problem. Tell me though, you are far more familiar than I about the nature of the arrangements here. Are all the captains who currently sail to and fro on these ships, they purchase all the goods themselves or here and then sell them abroad, or vice versa?
They would do both. Sometimes they
Sure.
trade.
Yes, I understand. But my point is that um, they're independent. There's not someone else who owns the ship.
I
And
mean, in some cases, it's a group of people that own the ship, and the captain just does that. There's a shipman who owns, I think, 2 or 3 airships. There's one under the control of the 3 queens.
I see. But primarily these are...
These are
Okay.
primarily owned by a group. At this point, I think there's one captain that owns her own ship.
Okay, sorry. You said that these are primarily owned by the captains?
So they're sort of, it's like a co-op.
Oh.
Like 1 or 2 of them seem to have a co-op. One
Okay.
is owned by the queens, and then there's a few that are owned. And I mean, this is both airships and ships.
Okay, one ship is owned by the queens? Or is it
Yes.
like one... Okay. One owned by queens. You said 2 or 3 owned by
Sorry,
a
one
co-op.
airship is owned by queens, and then there's 2 or 3 owned by co-op. So it's sort of like a small group.
That's one co-op. But that's like a couple captains that have gotten together and are doing that, right?
No, it's just a couple of citizens overall that sort of have
Okay,
the ship.
that's theirs. Okay.
I don't know if that makes any economic
It does
sense
make sense.
whatsoever.
It makes perfect sense. Well, these are all sensible things. You say one owned by the queens, 2 which probably deals solely in government goods. 2 to 3 owned by a co-op of citizens. And
I
then
mean,
probably
2 to 3 owned by co-ops, so it's not one co-op that has all 3. It's
by co-op. So it's 2 to
yeah,
they're owned by different co-ops.
to some degree, yes. I reserve the right to change these things.
Okay. Just let me know if you do change them.
Yes.
Was there anything else that she mentioned?
And then there's one ship that's owned by its own captain. And then there's a couple more. But pretty much, like, that's the range of things. Hello, my puppy.
Okay. So you said, and then... Oh. So you said, and then there's a couple more that are, like, smaller time, basically? Or are they, like, also owned by their captains?
There's a few that are just owned by, like, one person or captains or a mix or whatever.
Okay, so, like, captain / one person who owns them.
Yes.
Okay. Others by one.
And I'll, like, try and spend some time at some point next month figuring stuff out.
Fine.
Because you ask things sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't know!
That's okay. That's okay. The best part of D&D is making stuff up.
I guess the problem with this one is they're very research-based. Like, creating terrain is easy to do on the fly, and then what I've ended up doing is creating an entire system of government and economy on the fly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is why we end up with people being like, there's 400 guards in the city. How do they have space for all of these people? So.
Okay. So I'll nod to all that. I'll say, I confess, rather than being involved in the purchase of specific goods at this time, which, as you mentioned, is, there's questions of, do they come back? What will the price be? You can get caught with things you aren't able to sell. I was much more interested in buying a share of an airship or a share of a particular trading venture.
Excuse me one moment while I look up the cost of a ship. Any idea?
My idea would essentially be to invest in owning some percentage of an airship.
Yes, I just...
Yeah.
I need to check if an airship is like 20,000 gold.
I don't think it's listed.
They are absolutely listed. Warship.
Airships are?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Absolutely. Sailing ship, 10,000. So warship, 25,000. So I would guess that an airship would be like 20,000 gold. Let's do that.
Would be what?
20,000 gold.
Okay.
They're not significantly more expensive than regular ships.
They're twice as big as a regular ship.
Well, they're super common.
So a sailing ship.
That's fair.
A sailing ship.
They're the primary means of from everything she said. They're like effectively equivalent to what normal sailing ships are for trade.
I mean, there's many fewer of them, and on
Oh.
the other continent, they're much less rare. It's just like getting to and from Guaviera is easier. Much
I
more
see,
rare,
I
sorry.
see.
So, does
Okay.
it sound, if
Interesting.
a sailing ship is like, what is it?
A sailing ship means like I assume that would be like a masted sailing vessel.
That's what I was thinking. Well, Derek, what strongholds? Thank you.
What?
Strongholds and followers, because Matt, what's his name, has stuff for ships and information
cool.
about them.
Did not know that.
Oh yes, I remember things. Looking things up on the fly. I feel like we need a D&D Beyond, everyone. Ad right now. Green light infantry, people know it's there. It's like a key.
So the stats I'm seeing for sailing ship that Wizards put out, so that a sailing ship is 80 feet by 20 feet, with a crew capacity of 30 crew and 20 passengers and 100 tons of cargo. A warship is 100 feet by 20 feet with a creature capacity of 40 crew and 60 passengers and a cargo capacity of 200 tons, which doesn't seem accurate, but that's okay. So I think that the idea is that a warship is like the primary difference that I'm seeing in the stats they put out on Unearthed Arcana is that the warship is covered in siege engines. Like I see that they have
I feel like they would
mangonels
take
and
up
ballistas.
part of the. I feel like that would take over part of the cargo. Okay,
Sorry,
so
what?
I feel like that would be part of the cargo. Let's say an airship costs like
Yeah, probably.
30,000 gold.
Oh, that's probably why the cargo is higher.
Yeah. So let's say an airship cost is like 30,000 gold.
Okay.
And we'll say it goes 4 miles per hour since it's on air. Oh, what's a galley? This is so
A galley
hard.
is a small.
So it's smaller.
like a galley is actually it's quite a bit bigger.
No, they're pretty
No.
big.
That's the
The
thing.
galley
Is like
is actually much larger. Sorry, it's just it's the difference is they are, from what I understand, galleys are generally for within a smaller body of water. So you'd use galleys on the Mediterranean.
yeah. Okay. Which is probably why they're faster. Arctic traps downtime.
Yeah, they have a lower draft, which means they're more prone to. But you don't need you don't need draft at all if you're an airship. You just fly.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
so
Airship
what-
30,000 gold. 40. I don't know.
Okay.
So with 100 gold, you'd get this tiny little piece.
That's fine.
You would get 0.3% of earnings.
Okay.
A share.
That's why my initial thought wasn't I'm going to invest in this ship, because I mean the ship is probably okay. That's fine. I don't need to
So-
invest in the ship. I need to invest
Yeah.
in a voyage.
Okay.
Like
I'm gonna say if you want, you can give her some money. And shoot.
I need to go talk to these people.
Yes.
I have to go talk to. Well, this was very useful because I know that there are co-ops out there, which means best thing, join one of the co-ops, or I gotta find out the relative station of the captain. The guy. There's one ship that's owned directly by its captain.
Okay.
I gotta.
Do
find
me a
out-
favor and write down everything you need to know so that I can research it.
Okay.
That will help immensely.
Everything I
just
know
have a
about
page
this?
of no, just like put a page on the wiki with things Jamra wants to find out,
Okay.
and
I will
keep
do
it
that.
updated. And I will slowly work on that so that
All right. I'll do
slowly,
that.
like during downtime, I can just be like, "Hey, by the way, Jamra has found out another thing."
Okay.
Because otherwise, you're going to get like half-baked ideas that are
That's
fine,
fine.
and they're fun. It's just at some point they will be very
Okay.
broken one way or the other.
I imagine Jamra's conversation with her would continue to the extent that he would ask about like the relative positions of the various owners of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But for that reason, why don't we put a pin in this, and
Yes.
I'm gonna put all that up on a page for genre
Great.
on the
And
wiki.
then if
And we can return to that whenever.
yeah, and then if you want, we can just retcon and say that you gave her
Yeah.
some money and put it in investments, and then by next time, not
Yeah,
Tuesday, but like after, and I'll try and spend like a half hour a day playing with this stuff because it's actually getting
Cool.
fun. But yeah. So your next day, do you have anything else before we wrap up?
I mean, I want to find out about the. I don't know if that needs to. Now. So when are we playing again? I just want to find out.
Tuesday.
Because I can't do Tuesday.
Why can't you do Tuesday? What's wrong with
I'm-
you?
Because I'm working Tuesday
How
evening,
dare
and
you be
then
working on
Tuesday morning and afternoon I am driving down to New Haven to visit the place that I will hopefully be living next year.
Phooey.
Okay.
This is why we have a scheduling sheet that says
I
things.
looked at it and I didn't see it, but you're busy all day Tuesday, so write something down to the effect of being busy all day Tuesday.
Tomorrow's great.
Yeah, I know. Tomorrow's great for most people, except Sarah.
Sarah's free before 8. Are you all free before 8?
Well, the thing is that Derek doesn't get free until like 7:30.
I'm free either. Yeah, it's not. I'm free after.
I'm gonna stop
Like-
recording now.